What's up, my folks? What's up, my guys?
Yeah,
Okay, hey guys, thank you for coming back to my channel. If this is the first time here, welcome to Yoga with April. So this is, I believe, going to be the third video I have up. This one's kind of geared more towards the lower back. So if you have any pain, any sensations, or if that's just in general a tense area for you, this would be a good flow to have. So we'll go over the upper, lower, and mid back and just some nice deep stretching here. So we'll just get started here on our backs. So today's class is going to focus mostly on the lower back. So if you have pain in your lower back or any sensations, this would be a good class to do this with. Or if you just have common issues with your lower back, this would be a good flow to start off with as well. So you're going to want a block. We're not going to use it too much, but there are a few poses that I will cue for a block. Of course, if you don't have one, you can use books or anything that's similar to that, as long as you have something like this height and width. So you can just put that towards the back of the mat now, and we're going to start just laying on our backs. So we want to keep the soles of the feet on the ground and the knees pointed up towards the sky. Maybe do a few shoulder rolls just to relax the upper back here as well. And all I want us to do is get familiar with the ground supporting us. We're laying on our mat here and really utilizing, that grounding sensation throughout class. So as we are on our back, let's just come to center. So we'll just put one hand on our belly and one hand on our chest, whichever is more comfortable for you. And just take a few moments to focus on your own breathing here. Try to eliminate any outside distractions or anything that may be on that to-do list after this class. After all, you did carve out this time for you today, so just make it worth it and take what you need and add what you would like and take out what you don't. So still focusing on that breath, and if you are comfortable, you can keep the eyes closed here. I know it helps me when I'm trying to come into a meditative state before starting a class. I'll just focus on my belly rising as I inhale and as it lowers as I exhale. So nothing out of norm here, just simple equal inhalations and exhalations. And we'll just do a few more rounds. As you finish up that last round here, if you want to keep your eyes closed, you definitely can, but if you'd like to open them, now would be the time. All I want us to do is bring awareness to the natural arch that's in the lower back here. So as you notice that arch, you probably can put your hand under it. I want to take a few moments to eliminate that arch and kind of bring the tailbone towards the ground. So as you do that, you're going to peel the tailbone up a bit, and that natural arch should leave, and now you have a straight back flushed with the mat. And then as you bring that natural curve back, let the tailbone lift up slightly. And just coming with a few rounds of this, starting to just find simple movement here, activating the lower abdominals. And just let that natural arch come back. So in a lot of poses, so for example, like happy baby and things like that, this is what they mean when they want, your full back flushed with the mat. You can always play with this to experiment, how that would feel in your body. And of course, you can always place your hand right under your lower back here as well, just to notice that you've taken away that space. And just a few more rounds. Just finding simple movement here, getting ready to activate the lower back, upper and mid. Okay, coming back to center. We'll keep that natural arch here, and all we're going to do, we're going to extend the left leg out long, so the heel will be on the mat and the toes will flex towards the face. Now we're going to hug in that right knee close to our chest. And I invite you to find just any intuitive movements that feel good for you. I just want to warm up the hips a little bit here. So maybe you bring the knee close to the elbow, towards the outside edge of the mat. And then maybe you extend your arms out straight as you push into them. And just find a big circular motion. And we'll just do this for a few rounds. And if you're looking for anything more or something deeper, you can always find half happy baby here too, grabbing the outer edge blade of the right foot. I will encourage you in this class to not try to find your deepest stretch here or the deepest sensation. This is to tend towards the lower back or any pain or sensations you may feel. So I don't want you to add on to that by, deepening a twist or a stretch that's not needed today. Okay, coming back to center with that right knee, we're simply going to just extend it over towards the left side of the mat for a reclined supine twist. Now the knee never has to touch the ground, and typically I would cue keeping the shoulder blades grounded on the mat, but again for this class I don't want you to strain any part of your body. So if that right shoulder does come off the mat, that's okay. And you can gaze up towards the ceiling, or you can always gaze towards the right hand here as well. And just a few breaths here. So as you notice this twist, if you breathe in heavily, you can open up that right side body, breathing into all the crevices here in the rib cage. And you can always place the left hand on the outside edge of the right thigh too, just for a little assist. Just wringing out any sensations coming into your body. Last exhale here. And as we inhale, we'll come back to center and we'll switch sides. So we'll extend that right leg out long. We'll bring the left knee close towards the chest. And again, just find those same movements you did with the right side here. So with the left knee, find that same circular motion. Maybe you encourage it closer towards the left armpit. And you extend it out towards the front of the mat and then towards the outside edge of the mat here. And if you did play with half happy baby with the right side, you can move there now. And with half happy baby, your knee's going to kind of gear towards the outside edge of the mat. And you can just find a gentle push grabbing onto the outer edge blade of the left foot. If this is too much for you, you can always just bring the hands to the back of the left thigh here too. Okay, coming back to center. As we exhale, we'll twist and bring the left knee towards the right side of the room, and we'll gaze towards the left side of the room. And finding those same cues here, so no worries if the shoulder blades aren't touching today. You can always extend the left leg out long here as well, or you can keep that bent. And again, just focus on your breathing. So I know you may hear that a lot in yoga classes and probably wonder what the heck that means. So for me personally, I just think about closing my eyes, and as I breathe, I imagine where I want that to go. So in this twist, with those big inhalations, I'm just inhaling into that left side body. And then as I exhale and I squeeze all that air out, that will allow me to twist deeper into this pose. Just a few more rounds. We'll move a little bit slower today in this class as well, holding the poses. Last exhale here. And we'll inhale back to center, bringing both knees into the chest just for a gentle squeeze. And here I would cue, or I would like you to find some gentle sways from side to side as you bring that lower back flush to the mat, so you find an added massage here too. Just a few more rounds of swing from side to side before we find stillness. Maybe you bring your head left to right as well. Okay, as we find stillness here, we're just going to place the soles of the feet onto the ground. The knees will be pointed towards the sky. And we're going to find just windshield wiper motion. So what I mean by that, I just want you to let gravity do the work as you let your knees drop to the right side of the room and then on over to the left, just equaling out from that twist, coming back to our center. And just a few more rounds. Okay, coming back to center, just do a few spinal rolls if that feels good for you today. If not, just meet us at a seated position at the top of your mat here. So sitting up, sit bones grounded into the mat. Just find a nice cross-legged position. We'll inhale those arms up towards the sky, palms touch. And as we exhale, we're going to place our left hand to our right knee, and our right hand, or possibly our right fingertips, are just going to go towards the back of the mat. Now here in this pose, kind of what I was mentioning, I don't want you to find your deepest twist here. I just want you to enjoy where you are at. So don't sacrifice the length of the spine to deepen the twist. You want to keep a straight spine here, and your right hand's going to help you by doing that. If you have the space in your body, definitely feel free to bring the palm to the ground, but the fingertips are just as good here as well. And then gently use that left hand to just simply twist a little bit deeper as it pushes into the right knee. And if you have the room available to you, you can gaze over that right shoulder. And again, big inhale as we lengthen the spine. And as you ride that exhalation out, you can begin to twist a little bit deeper. There's a few more rounds. And we'll inhale back to center, arms up overhead. And as we exhale, we'll switch sides. So now our left hand will be towards the back of the mat, and our right hand's going to be on that left knee. Really keeping the spine elongated, feeling that nice twist, and keeping an even weight into the sit bones here. And always feel free to close your eyes if this does feel good for you as well. I know personally when I close my eyes, that will help me focus on my breath. 3 more rounds. And last round here. And exhale it all out. And as we inhale, we'll come back to center, arms up overhead one more time, and then down towards our knees. So here we're going to find a wide-legged forward fold, but we're going to keep our right foot into our left thigh here. So I don't want you to force it up any higher than it needs to go today. So wherever it kind of naturally lands is good, as long as it's not on the knee. And then as we inhale, we'll bring the arms up once more. And then as you exhale, just simply place the left hand starting on the left thigh, and you'll inhale the right arm up overhead towards the left side of the room. And while you're doing so, feel free to ride that left hand down towards the shin or the foot, wherever it's available to you, for just a nice side bend. And again, you want to keep the sit bones grounded here as well. So just imagine pushing over towards the left side of the room, really elongating that right side. And use your left arm or your left forearm to your advantage. So use that to kind of push away wherever it is, whether it's on the thigh or the shin. As you use that to push, it's going to allow your chest to open up towards the sky. You want to keep that chest nice and open here. Strong fingertips over towards the left side of the room. And really don't bow into your left shoulder here. So keep some integrity here, so you have some space between the left shoulder and your left cheek. And we'll inhale back to center. We're simply going to switch sides. So if you are able to do so, don't use your hands here. Just kind of extend the right leg out long and just bring that left sole of the foot into the right thigh. And we'll inhale those arms up. And as we exhale, that right arm's going to go where you have space on that right leg. And you'll start bringing that left hand up and over towards the right side of the room. Now, so wherever your gaze goes is where your chest is going to go, right? So if I'm looking down towards my mat, I'm kind of closing out my chest here. So the goal is to bring that gaze up as high as it can, just so it can assist your chest to open. And again, remember to use that right hand or that right forearm to your advantage wherever you are today. Nice long line with that left arm. And just a few rounds. Just always come back to your breath, keeping the equal inhalations and exhalations. Perfect. We'll inhale back to center. And here is where you're going to want your block. So we're going to do another wide-legged forward fold, but again, I don't want you to force this to go any further than it naturally goes today. Now, typically, of course, you can, but just for this class, I want you to just enjoy where you are in the moment, where your stretch is here. And if you have the room for your head today, it's gonna go onto the block. So we'll just inhale the arms up overhead. And as you ride out your exhalation, just slowly start creeping towards the front of the room. Whether you stay here today or you're here today, you're gonna get that nice opening in the hips here. So just wherever you have space. If you can bring those forearms down, feel free to do so. Also bring your forehead to your block if you have that space today. Like I said, I don't want you to have to force any of these stretches today, so let your body relax and let gravity and time kind of do the work here. Now the heels will stay grounded, and you want to keep some activation in the feet here, so either point or flex the toes, whichever feels better for you. And try to keep a straight spine here, so don't hunch to get deeper. If you're looking like this in your fold, if you're rounding, just come out a little bit so you can keep the spine straight. 2 more rounds. Last round here. And we'll start to crawl back up towards the mat. Remove that block here. And we'll just come onto our hands and knees, so we'll find a neutral tabletop. So we'll want to just make sure we find a good solid foundation. So you always want to keep the shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees. Think of a long straight spine here as well. So kind of head to heart, heart to pelvis. You don't want to let your spine dip in. And we're not trying to round at the back too much. We just want to find a nice tabletop position. Toes untucked here as well. We'll inhale the right arm up towards the sky, and as we exhale, we're gonna thread it through across the chest, so eventually that right shoulder and right temple will meet on the mat. Now here you wanna work on keeping those hips squared as well, so don't let them dip over to the left side either. Keep some integrity there. And with our left hand here, whichever is available to you. So I'll give you a few options. Either that left palm can just be flat, kind of eye level with you. So that will help push the chest open. You can be on your fingertips here as well. Or you can always work on grabbing the bind so that left hand will find the right hip crease. This is really opening up the shoulders, the upper back. Two more rounds. If you did find that bind here, feel free to release the left hand to the mat and allow that to help you push up as you inhale that right arm up towards the sky one more time, and then we'll exhale to the mat. Inhale to the other side, so we'll lift that left hand up, and we'll exhale and thread it through across the chest, eventually meeting on the bottom of the mat. And again, now those hips are going to want to go over towards the right side of the room here. So remember to try to keep those squared. And whichever variation you did with the right hand, you'll want to do that on this, the left hand, you'll want to do it on the right hand here as well. Relieving tension in the neck here. Two more rounds. Last one here. So use that left hand again to help peel open and up. Inhale the left arm up and exhale back. So before we kind of get any further, we're just going to get the spine warmed up by cat-cows here. So making sure we have that firm foundation, we'll inhale as we drop the belly, push the chest through, shift the gaze up towards the sky. And as we exhale, we'll curve that lower mid upper back, finding that cat position. Big inhale as we drop the belly. And exhale back to cat. So definitely in this pose and these movements specifically, I always encourage you to follow your own breath and just know those exhales will round the back and the inhales will drop the belly. Always keep the gaze last to follow just to protect the neck. And if you have any intuitive movements here, feel free to do so. We'll be here for a few more rounds. If you're kind of like, what the heck do you mean intuitive movements? That could just be even some hip circles. Maybe you find a child's pose for a moment. Maybe you just barrel roll the belly. Again, another great opportunity to just close the eyes and see what your body is feeling. Maybe what they're saying to you, what they want to explore. Couple more rounds. And coming back to that neutral tabletop, we're going to tuck the toes and we're going to find a squat towards the back of our mat. So however it's going to work for you, I find the easiest way is if you just start bringing the weight of your thighs to your heels slowly. You lift up the knees, keep the hands on the mat for some foundation and some balance, and you kind of just wiggle your way into whatever feels good. So again, another great opportunity for the black. So if your squat looks like this, you don't want to round the back, you want to keep a straight spine. And if you're having difficulties doing so just as is, definitely use a block for support here on whichever height would work for you. And I know sometimes the heels may be the issue. So you know what, if your heels don't touch the ground, that's totally okay too. Just bring your hands on your mat to keep you balanced. This is a great pose for you to do really at any time during the day to help ease tension in the lower back. Build a straight, long spine. And once you do find a squat that works for you, just bring the palms together and use the elbows to push the inside of the knees away so you're opening up the hips there. And just close your eyes, maybe you find some sways. If you do have that black, feel free to remove that now. All we're going to do as we inhale, we're going to slowly straighten the legs, finding ragdoll. So you definitely want to, so we are working like the hamstrings and calves here with a stretch, but if you're feeling any sensation in your lower back, just bring a slight micro bend to your knee, or bring a deep bend. It's really up to you and how your body's feeling. You definitely know your body better than anyone else, so just listen in and kind of hone into what it's saying. Grabbing opposite elbows here, just letting gravity do the work. Long, heavy shoulders, heavy elbows. Now I feel like our neck's one of the hardest body parts to remember to relax. So when you're in a position such as this, you can always shake from left to right, yes to no. And just deep belly breaths. We're just going to find some half sun A's here, so nothing too intense. If you do have those opposite elbows, bring the hands down to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift to a straight spine, either on those fingertips, hands on the feet, or the shins. And then we'll exhale, fold. Do that a few more times. So inhale to that straight spine, gaze up towards the top of the mat. And exhale, fold as we micro bend in the knees. Last time here, we'll inhale to a straight spine. And exhale, fold. So from here, we're going to crawl our hands to the top of our mat, finding downward facing dog. So in downward facing dog, especially today, I'm not really too worried about straight legs, any pushing towards the thighs. I just want you to find some good movement that feels good and any stretch that's working for you. So whether that means you are putting one heel down on the mat until the next heel, really push in and externally rotate the arms so those elbow creases will slowly face the ears. And think about melting the thigh towards the, or melting the chest towards the thighs here. And again, keeping movement if that feels good for you today. A couple more rounds. Okay, coming back to stillness, we're going to inhale the right leg up just about hip height, so nothing more. And then as we exhale, just slowly bring it to the top of our mat. And we'll bring that, we'll keep the left leg up, so keep the left knee up as well. We're going to keep that left hand down and we'll inhale the right arm up for a twisted lunge here. So weight will be in the left hand, hips are still squared towards the front of the mat. And just focus on looking up towards the right arm. Awesome, just a few more rounds. Last one here. And as we exhale, we'll frame the right foot. We're going to bump the left foot up and place it all the way down towards the mat. So heel will be on the mat as well. And those left toes will kind of gear towards the left edge of the mat. Now slowly start to straighten that right leg. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Might want your black. So, okay, we're back in this position. So we'll straighten that right leg. We're going to find triangle pose. So why I mentioned you may need a black here, because I don't want you to sacrifice the length or the integrity of this pose just for a deeper bend. So bringing the black to the inside of the right knee or whatever you do have here, place your right hand on that as well and extend the left arm up long. So we want to keep both feet firmly planted. We want to keep the shoulders in line with each other. And we want to keep a nice straight spine. This is a really nice side body stretch. It strengthens and stretches the spine as well. So that's why I don't want you to sacrifice a deeper twist or a deeper bend into it. So a few more rounds. Finishing up that last round here, we'll bring both hands to the mat, framing that right foot, and just keeping the block towards the top of the mat. We're going to bring the right foot back to meet the left for downward facing dog. We pedal out just a few times. 3 breaths here. As we finish up that last one, let's inhale that left leg up hip height, and then we'll exhale to the top of our mat, keeping the right hand firmly planted. We'll find that twist here as well. So just a low lunge twist, pushing away at that right hand, keeping that strong, firm line of energy through the left fingertips, and really pushing into the ball mound of the back right foot. Few more rounds. And again, we will frame the left foot here as we bump the right foot up, and we'll pivot the toes out towards the right edge of the mat, bringing that block back here now towards, or right next to the left foot here. Slowly extend that left leg long, and we'll bring our left hand to that block as we extend the right arm up overhead. So kind of making a T shape here with both arms. And again, you don't want that hip to open like I'm doing right now, so work on keeping that squared towards the front of the mat. Feel a nice stretch right into that left hamstring. And just a few rounds. 2 more. And last one here, framing that left foot, placing that block towards the front of the mat. And we'll simply step the left foot back to meet the right. And we're going to end up right in that squat position. So start bringing or spider crawling both hands back towards the mat to meet the feet. And we'll bend at the knees. Now feel free to definitely heel your toes. My toes are off my mat here, and that allows me more space to keep the heels on the mat. And we'll just find a few more rounds here. Just a couple breaths. Really pushing away at the palms. And just swaying from side to side. Like I mentioned, this is a great pose to do if you definitely have any lower back tension, but if you're just needing some openness in the hips as well, if you sit all day for work or if you've been walking all day and your legs are a little tight, this will work as well. Okay, and dropping those hands to the mat, we'll find a ragdoll. So grab those opposite elbows. Micro bend in the knee. Okay, placing the hands on the mat, we'll inhale, halfway lift. And as we exhale, we'll just crawl, finding tabletop position, and then just finding a seat here. So we'll end with another seated twist. So extend the legs out long. And all we're gonna do, we're gonna bring the sole of the left foot onto the mat. It's gonna be inside the right thigh. We're gonna bring the left hand towards the back of the mat as well. We'll inhale that right arm up, and as we exhale, I just want you to hug the left knee. So I don't want you bringing the right elbow into the right knee, because that twist is just too deep for this class. I just want you to simply find a gentle hug of the left knee as you gaze over the right shoulder. Two more rounds. Last one here. And we'll exhale all back to center, switching sides. So this time the right knee will be up towards the sky, right sole of the foot will be on the ground. And we'll bring that right hand to the back of the mat as we inhale the left arm up. And we exhale and find again that gentle hug here of the right knee. Two more rounds. Last one here. And as we exhale, we'll unwind towards the top of our mat. So we'll find our final pose here. We're going to use our block. We're going to have it just right on our lower back. So if you think about supported bridge pose, but we won't go into it that much. So just come to your back, getting your block or whatever you have available to you. Just bring that right under your sit bones, right to your lower back on the lowest height that you have. If you are comfortable moving it to a middle height or the higher height, you definitely can, but it's not necessary. Now the knees are still bent here. If you have your fingertips, they should be able to graze the Achilles tendon. And we'll just settle in, roll the shoulder blades up and back. And then once you find a firm like foundation and you feel grounded, just extend both legs out towards the bottom of the mat, or the front of the mat rather. Maybe the heels will touch the corners of the mat. And if it feels good, just extend the arms up overhead as well. Just finding a nice full body stretch. So we will end class here today. If there's anything else that you would like to do, feel free to do so. Twists are always good to help alleviate any lower back pain. So maybe you find that supine twist again. You can always do pigeon on your back as well if you're familiar with that. But for this class today, we'll just stay here. Just a few rounds to yourself. And if you have more time available to you, I always encourage you to stay in this position, or if you want to find traditional savasana, so removing that block altogether, you can move there now and also pause this video. If you're still with me, we're going to simply just end here. So I thank you for flowing with me today with this class, and I hope this helps with any back pains or sensations, or if you're simply looking for just a quick flow to alleviate any pain and tension. I will see you next week. Hey guys, thanks for checking out this video. If you want to look for some more, they should be right over here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and also comment if there's anything else you'd like to see or something you'd like me to add or any questions. I'm always happy to answer.